There are some popular myths about copyright, and one of my favorites is that if you don't have a registered copyright, then you don't have copyright protection on your works. Totally false, right? The only thing that registration gets you is it gets you a ticket to be able to file a lawsuit, and if you register before you suffer any infringement of that work, it gets you a claim for statutory damages and the recovery of attorney's fees should you ever need to enforce that copyright. The idea that you have to register every work that you create as a prerequisite to owning the rights of authorship and copyright in that work is completely false. So take that for what it's worth. Next myth. Innocent infringement is a defense to copyright. If I've heard that once, I've heard it 1,000 times. It's not true, right? You don't have to know that you're usurping someone else's rights in order to be held strictly liable for copyright infringement. However, innocent infringement can reduce the amount of damages that someone can recover against you. And in my experience, having tried copyright lawsuits to juries, it is a major factor that will be taken into consideration by the jury as they assess the issue of, okay, maybe there was infringement. Now, what am I going to do about it? Certainly, if you were going to ever infringe, better it be innocent than willful under the current copyright scheme. Another issue that you should be aware of is that there are certain circumstances when you are drafting agreements where if you are drafting with someone else that is feeding you content and you aren't aware necessarily of what is theirs and what they may be mixing theirs with in the way of works of others, you should always try to protect yourself through agreements that put the liability for any infringement back on the party that is providing you with the content. That is what we sometimes refer to as a warranty against intellectual property infringement. Sometimes it's also referred to as an indemnity provision against intellectual property infringement. And I would say that applies not just with respect to copyright, but probably across the board.